Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the console combat. This weekend's been the free weekend for the Call of Duty World War II Beta on PC, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to look back on my impressions after a few days playing. With a channel name like Console Convert, it goes without saying that I used to play a lot on consoles before I converted over to the PC. I converted because I wanted to start playing more grown-up games, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting to enjoy World War II when I installed it. I really enjoyed Call of Duty 4, but I stopped playing the COD games when more and more of the overpowered childish stuff started getting added, like the dual-wielding P90s in Modern Warfare 2. But to be honest, within just a couple of games of playing World War II, I gotta admit I started really enjoying myself.
Covering fire! You're in the ruins!
I started getting excited about getting back into the COD on keyboard and mouse for the first time. After a few days I had my moments.
Protect the drop zone. Recon airborne.
So firstly, I think it looks great. The level Gibraltar stood out for me, which is why I used this as my main gameplay in the video. I thought it looked great. I thought it obviously received some serious attention to detail, but in fairness to the other levels, it could be just because the weather conditions on Gibraltar are bright, so the level is more colourful, whereas some of the other levels are grey and duller. They might not be as colourful, but they still look really good. They've still got the same attention to detail. The effects look good, it sounds great. I think it feels, to me, it feels like classic COD, as someone who hasn't played COD 2 or 3. When I first saw the trailer for this game, I said to a few of my friends there were such big changes going back to the World War II setting and losing all the futuristic stuff. I thought they'd probably play it safe when it came to how the game feels and plays. Personally, I think it feels a lot like COD 4 generally in terms of movement, gunplay, damage dealt by different gun weapons, things like that. Personally, I enjoyed that, having not played COD properly since Modern Warfare 2. Maybe others out there are hoping World War II is going to be bringing bigger changes generally above and beyond just the changes to the setting. After a few days playing, I'm sorry to disappoint those people, but for me, very little seems to have changed in how the game feels and plays compared to the Modern Warfare games. One decent change I did like was the change to the kill streak system. To get a UAV in this game you need 500 points, and 100 points a kill, that's 5 kills. So there's a lot less of that kill streak sort of stuff going on in game, which personally I think is a big improvement on the Modern Warfare games. Haven't seen anything in this beta that's as overpowered as some of the stuff that was in those games, but you know, who knows what's going to be possible to unlock in the late game of the full release version of World War II. I was surprised to instantly feel the classic COD feeling my first time playing on PC with keyboard and mouse, which I think goes to show that they've done a really good job of this PC port. A few minor things that weren't perfect, like the lack of the scroll bar and the menu system, which left me thinking I couldn't read behind keys for the first hour. But apart from that, it's pretty good. So what about the not so goods? Well, the SMGs were nerfed early in this beta. They're still extremely strong, but to be honest, I don't think the problem is the SMG hit damage. For me, the real issue is that all the maps are extremely small and cramped and cluttered. The small size can lead to being attacked as soon as you spawn. While the rifles can deal more damage at range, it's pretty hard to find that range on these maps, which goes to show how relevant the sniper rifles are as sniper rifles. Obviously, they're still quick snipe, but I had a few incidents where I didn't get the one-hit kill, which left me choosing other weapons. I've heard talk that this multiplayer is peer-to-peer networking, and I experienced a few moments where what I saw on my screen didn't seem to line up with what I saw on the kill cam. Perhaps this lack of one-hit kill with the snipers is another example of this, I don't know. Either way, I used to love quick sniping on COD, but for this game, these maps, the SMG and the shotgun felt like the way to go. When it comes to game modes, there's no search and destroy in this beta, unfortunately. My concern with that game mode is that these levels feel like they've been designed primarily for deathmatch. It feels like team deathmatch has the prime spot. and the objective modes like domination are just nice little added features to mix it up a bit. Search and Destroy always used to feel like the only real serious competitive objective based game mode. If the maps damage the Search and Destroy game mode, then for me, COD World War II it could be little more than a one-trick pony. What about the new War game mode, I hear you ask? Still feels like more of the same. Here's your one objective to fight over, everyone instantly spawns and runs at it, you know where they're going to be, they know where you're going to be, spam a load of nades and shots, get shot, do it all again. At least the domination game mode has 3 potential objectives, which adds a slightly different dynamic, but I wasn't exactly enjoying that mode either.
They're taking Baker. Baker's lost.
Why would you be there? Why would you be there? Why would you even be there?
Taking Baker. We hold Ava. It's on airfield.
Just hiding in corners
They're taking
on
Charlie.
a fucking objective-based game. Fucking absolute guff. Absolute guff. So if you want to play an objective-based game, you don't fucking play Call of Duty, because none of these bastards know how to play it. Do you know what? Do you know what?
Recon searching for targets.
Load of crap. And even a team deathmatch, there's so many little changes they could make it so much better. Get rid of the hand holding, the huge icons that come up telling you you're near a nade or where a teammate just died. The pre-recorded callouts mean you don't need to be aware of your surroundings nor learn to communicate with your teammates.
Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover.
The ridiculous amount of information on the maps even shows you where your teammate's shooting, so you don't need to use your ears. Then there's the lack of friendly fire.
Recon aircraft observed.
And rather than making a mode with friendly fire and other tweaks and calling it the hardcore mode, they should label this mode the kiddie mode. It's hand holding, that's what it is, it's for the kids. Don't stigmatise the people who don't want to be treated like a kid by calling them hardcore. Call the kiddie mode kiddie mode. But that's just my personal preference. I like to play competitive shooters, which is why I now enjoy playing games like Counter-Strike Go and Squad. In a proper balanced competitive shooter like CSGO, the hardest game mode is called competitive and it's placed at the very centre of the game. COD, this hand-holded deathmatch is at the centre. So, my final impression, so long as you go into playing COD World War II expecting to play a COD game, it's still really enjoyable. For me, it's a return to the form of the COD 4 days with less of the gimmicky childish rubbish. You still got the perks and gun unlocks under different names, but I wouldn't really expect anything less from a COD game. I fear for the quality of the Search and Destroy game mode, but to be honest, it's highly unlikely that any COD Search and Destroy game mode is going to compete with CSGO or Squad as my favourite competitive shooter. Gunplay alone on those games is far superior, even before level design and game modes are taken into consideration. COD World War II could still be a fun way to play some deathmatch, but when I bought my 2 current favourite competitive shooters for £12 and £15 respectively, very little chance of me spending AAA prices just to play a deathmatch shooter game. Might be different if I enjoyed the single player campaigns like many people do, but I never really enjoyed them personally. I was always all about the multiplayer game modes. So that was my impression of the beta. Be interested to hear yours if you want to share it in the comment section below. Obviously this was just the beta. I'll be watching to see how the full version looks when it comes out, whether they nail the S&D game mode. If it's any good they might tempt me, especially if it's on sale or something. Anyway, till next time, that was COD World War II. I've been the Console Convert. Take it easy guys, I'll see you next time.